Bree notices that her diamond engagement ring has fallen into the swimming pool. Without hesitation, she dives in to retrieve it. She reaches the ring and tries to pull it free, but it's wedged tightly in the metal grate and won't budge. Seeing her struggle, Yana jumps into the pool to help. But even with both sisters working together, they still can't free the ring. Instead, disaster strikes when Yana's hair gets caught in the pool filter. Bree immediately rushes over to help her sister. What neither of them realizes is that a much greater danger is about to arrive. Meanwhile, the pool manager, McGrady, believes everyone has already left. He presses the button to close the pool and heads home. Suddenly, the massive fiberglass pool cover begins sliding shut. Bree sees it coming and desperately pulls Yana's hair free. The sisters race toward the surface, but they're too late. The pool cover seals them underwater. The sisters scream for help, but the building is silent and completely empty. They push against the cover with all their strength, but it refuses to move. To make matters worse, the pool has just closed for an extended holiday weekend. Yana starts to panic. "The pool is closed all weekend," she says. "We could die down here." Bree tries to reassure her. "Someone will come eventually," she says. "We're going to get out of here safely." The two sisters then try to break through the cover above them, but it's made of fiberglass, making it nearly impossible to smash with their bare hands. By this point, they are completely trapped inside the pool. Frustrated, Yana snaps at Bree. "This is all because of your stupid ring." Bree calms her down and says, "Let's look around. There has to be a weak spot somewhere." The sisters begin searching every corner of the pool. While looking around, Yana notices a small hole in the fiberglass cover, but the opening is far too small. They can barely fit a hand through it, and they don't have any tools to make it larger. Now desperate, they start searching for anything that could help widen the hole. Eventually, Bree finds a piece of plastic. She uses it to scrape at the opening, hoping to make it bigger, but it accomplishes nothing. By now, they've been trapped for more than an hour. The tension between the sisters begins to boil over, and they start arguing. That's when we learn that Yana has always been jealous of Bree. The truth is, Yana's life was far from perfect. She had been in rehab, while Bree had recently gotten engaged and was about to get married. Unable to cope with her jealousy, Yana had secretly taken the ring from Bree's bag and thrown it into the pool herself. Bree is shocked by the revelation. Looking at Yana, she says, "Because of you, look what's happened to us." Then she dives back into the water to retrieve her ring. Fortunately, this time, Bree manages to pull the ring free from the metal grate. Afterwards, she tells Yana, "Let's stop fighting. We need to focus on how we're going to get out of here." Bree suggests that if they can somehow remove the heavy metal grate from the bottom of the pool and bring it up, they might be able to use it to break through the fiberglass cover. Yana shakes her head. "That thing is way too heavy." Even so, Bree gives it a try. She swims down and struggles with the grate, but she can't move it. As time passes, evening arrives. The automatic lights around the pool eventually shut off on their own, leaving the area even darker. Meanwhile, Bree's fiancé, David, keeps calling her over and over again. Her phone is still inside her bag, and the sisters can hear its ringtone echoing from above. While they're talking, Bree suddenly starts getting a severe headache. Concerned, Yana asks, "What's wrong with you?" Bree takes a breath and says, "For the last 3 years, I've been taking insulin shots for my diabetes. If I don't get my shot on time, I could even fall into a coma." Unfortunately, her insulin is also inside the bag. Just then, they hear the sound of a door opening outside. It's Clara, a pool employee who is about to leave after finishing her shift. Bree and Yana immediately start pounding on the cover, screaming for help. Hearing their voices, Clara is startled. "What are you two doing in there?" she asks. The sisters are overwhelmed with relief. For a moment, they think they've been saved. But instead of helping them, Clara walks to the control room and turns off the security cameras. She then goes through Bree's bag, taking the cash, phone, and credit cards. After that, Clara asks for the password to Bree's phone. Desperate, Bree gives it to her. Once the phone is unlocked, Clara glances at the screen. "Looks like you've got a lot of missed calls and text messages," she says. "Please," the sisters beg, "help us. Get us out of here." But Clara ignores their pleas. Instead, she begins talking about herself. "I spent 9 months in prison," she says, "and now I'm struggling just to pay my bills and take care of my kids." Clara then asks for the PIN to Bree's credit card. Bree pleads with her, "Promise me that if I give you the PIN, you'll get us out of here." But Clara coldly replies, "I'm not making any promises." She walks into the control room and turns off the pool heater. With no other option left, Bree reluctantly gives her the PIN code. After getting the PIN, Clara says, "I'll be back in a little while." Then she leaves to withdraw money using Bree's card. With the heater turned off, the water grows colder and colder throughout the night. Bree's condition continues to worsen. To stay warm, the two sisters sit together, holding each other tightly. Somehow they manage to survive the night. The next morning, Clara returns. This time, Yana speaks to her politely. "My sister is diabetic. She desperately needs her insulin shot. Please give us the insulin that's in the bag." But Clara is furious because she discovered that Bree only had $80 in her account. "If you had actually helped me," Clara snaps, "then maybe I would have helped you." She then threatens them. "Because of what you've done, I could just leave both of you in this pool and let you die." A little later, Yana decides that Clara deserves punishment. Pretending to be remorseful, she starts crying and says, "I'm sorry. There's something I want to tell you." She asks Clara to bring her ear closer to the small hole in the cover. When Clara leans in to listen, Yana suddenly stabs toward her ear with a sharp piece of plastic. Blood immediately starts pouring from Clara's ear. She screams in pain. Now completely enraged, Clara activates the pool's automatic cleaning system. As chlorine begins mixing into the water, Bree and Yana start struggling to breathe. The sisters desperately beg Clara to get them out. But then Clara realizes that they could actually die. If that happened, she could end up back in prison. Panicking, she quickly shuts the cleaning system off. Clara then tells Bree, "In my world, I have nothing left to lose. To make up for what your sister did, you need to give me something valuable." At that moment, the most valuable thing Bree has is her engagement ring. Reluctantly, she takes it off and hands it to Clara. After taking the ring, Clara leaves once again. Yana breaks down in tears. "This is all my fault," she says. After spending so many hours in the freezing water, Bree begins hallucinating. She suddenly sees the pool cover opening, and finally, David has come to rescue her. But a moment later, Bree jolts awake. That's when she notices Yana holding the sharp piece of plastic against her own throat, ready to end her life. Bree immediately tries to stop her. "We're going to get out of here alive," she says, but Yana shakes her head. "Even if we survive, your life is still worth living. You have everything." She pauses. "But what do I have? I'll just fall back into my drug addiction again." Hearing this, Bree becomes emotional. "There will always be a place for you in my life," she tells her sister. "You matter to me, and no one is ever going to leave you alone." The two sisters embrace and cry together. For the first time, all the misunderstandings and resentment between them finally begin to disappear. Meanwhile, Clara is sitting in the office, trying on Bree's engagement ring. Just then, a voice message from David comes through on Bree's phone. In the message, David says, "I've been trying to reach you for hours. If I don't hear from you soon, I'm calling the police." Hearing that, Clara starts to panic. She's terrified that she'll end up back in prison, so she rushes back to talk to Bree and Yana. "I'll open the pool cover," Clara says, "but you have to promise me something. Once you get out, you can't tell anyone about me or what I did to you." Overjoyed, Bree and Yana immediately agree. They promise not to say a word. Clara then heads to the control room and enters the passcode to open the cover. But unfortunately, the code she was given no longer works. The passcode has already been changed. A few moments later, Clara returns. "The code didn't work," she says. "There's nothing else I can do for you." And with that, she leaves again. Another night passes. With no other options left, Yana decides to try removing the metal grate from the bottom of the pool. She tries over and over again, but it refuses to budge. Finally, she takes Bree's towel, threads it through one of the openings in the grate, and pulls with all her strength. This time it works. The grate finally comes loose. But when Yana surfaces with it, she discovers that Bree has lost consciousness. Terrified, Yana immediately performs CPR. Thankfully, Bree regains consciousness. Then, using every ounce of strength she has left, Yana swings the heavy metal grate into the fiberglass cover, again and again, until finally the cover shatters. At last, the two sisters escape from the pool. Yana immediately grabs Bree's insulin and gives her the shot. Although Bree regains consciousness, she is still in very bad condition. But just then, Clara suddenly appears. She points a gun at both of them and says, "I'm going to kill you." She still believes that if Bree and Yana tell the police what happened, she'll be sent back to prison. Clara is seconds away from pulling the trigger, but deep down, she's already beginning to regret everything she's done. Instead, she hands Bree's engagement ring back to Yana. Yana quickly calls the police and an ambulance. Surprisingly, she never tells the police anything about Clara. In fact, she tells Clara to leave before the authorities arrive. Soon, the police and emergency responders reach the scene. Bree and Yana are finally rescued. Bree receives the medical attention she desperately needs and survives. Later, Yana returns Bree's engagement ring, and with that, the movie ends.